Good morning, everybody. In today's lecture, we will make an effort to understand that what we mean by international finance. International finance, which is also called as foreign exchange management. Basically, in this, we will try to deal with respect to calculating the rate of exchange between the two countries. As you are aware that now, when we are supposed to generate the finance, the national boundary is not the limitation. We can cross the national boundary for generating the finance. In the same way, the foreign country, they can also generate the finance from our home country. But when the two countries are trying to deal with respect to generation of finance or with respect to any transaction in terms of trade and services, then crossing of national boundary will be there. And when the crossing of national boundary is there, then change in currency is also there. So when the currencies are going to change, automatically the face value and intrinsic value of both the currencies will be different. But trade will happen when we are able to balance the value of two currency. International finance or foreign exchange management will help us in understanding and calculating that how the value of two currencies has to be balanced, so that the equation we are able to draw, the equation we are able to frame, that equation will help us in calculating the export or the import value. That how many units of home currency will equal to a unit of foreign currency, or how many units of foreign currency will be equal to units of home currency. In both ways, we are able to calculate. The basic idea is, the need is that we are supposed to calculate, we are supposed to know that what will be the rate of exchange if two countries indulge in trade, buying and selling of goods and services. We will try to make an effort to have the discussion with respect to few slides where we try to take up that what we mean by international finance and what is the need of international finance. That we will take up just now. As we have discussed yesterday also, that international finance, basically we are trying to deal with respect to foreign exchange. Means we can say that the trade, the import or export that we take place across the national boundary, issues are always created. Because when we cross the national boundary, the currency is going to change, the language is going to change, the law of land is going to change, and along with that, the face value and intrinsic value of currency is also going to change. That means the trade between two countries will be settled only if there is no payment disputes. And as you are also aware that the value of foreign currencies do not remain same. One country currency value may be equal to other country currency, or it may variate also on the lower side or on the higher side. International finance, or which we called as the foreign exchange management, help us in equating the value of two currencies of two countries. That means this topic will help us in finding out, in calculating the equation between the two currencies. Suppose if we take USD pound and Indian rupee, then what is the value of USD or pound in terms of Indian rupee? Both are foreign currencies, USD as well as pound. And we have to calculate the value of both currencies in terms of Indian rupee. And as you are also aware, both these currencies are having higher value than Indian rupee. That means 1 pound is equal to something rupee, or 1 USD is equal to something rupee. So conversion or calculating the value of one currency into another, that we get from international finance. Along with that, we also get the knowledge and information that how we are supposed to invest abroad, or how the investment from abroad can be brought to the home country. Because when we try to go for investment abroad, again the currency issue will be there. Or if the foreign country or the foreign person is trying to invest in our homeland, the conversion currency will take place. That means whatever the activity that will take place between the two nations, currency conversion become the essential aspect. So there will be a method or mode of operation through which we are able to convert the value of one currency into another. And along with that, when we convert the value, we should also keep in mind that what are the risk factors? What are the risk factors which are going to deviate the value, the calculated value that we have done? Risk which can be internal as well as external. But all type of risk, they will deviate the exchange rate. So those risks are also supposed to be considered. So in international finance, we'll discuss about the calculation, about the mode, about the equation, about the rate of foreign exchange, as well as this will also speak about the various factors responsible for bringing change in the value, as well as it will also help us in knowing that what are the risks associated in international business which deviate the value of one currency into another. So after discussing about the need of international finance, we should also try to consider that what actually interfinance mean, and what actually international finance mean. That means the basic concept of this we can copy. International finance. I will try to draw your attention toward one para which I am trying to copy here. See what I am trying to say, that international finance means practicing management of finance in an international business environment, and include management of payment and receivable, means whatever that we have said just now. If you try to break these lines, that international finance means practicing management of finance. Where? In an international business environment. Two different things. Now this practicing is going to include what? This practicing is going to include payment and receivable in different currencies. Number one. Number 2, I said raising funds from abroad. Number 3, investing money abroad, and other aspect related to it. Just now we have discussed these things. It means that national boundaries are no way boundaries for raising and investing funds. That means we are not supposed to consider the national boundary as a limitation. Now the funds can be raised and invested in the home country as well as in foreign country both. Any person, company, nation is free to generate fund from its own nation as well as procure them from anywhere in the world just now. That means the total concept behind international finance is foreign currency, home currency, conversion of home currency into foreign currency, conversion of foreign currency into home currency. And this conversion is taking place due to trade, we can say as export or import, financing, investment, then we can say joint ventures, mergers between the two nations, companies, job opportunities that we are having in foreign countries or foreigners they have in our homeland. All these reasons, they are pointing toward the conversion of one currency into another. Because as we have discussed earlier also, the value is not the same. The value of two currency is not the same.